Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's Words of Wisdom. Today's is from February 26th, but it was the one that was used in the past, so I came up with my own. It's from this Kyoten, this book, Spiritual World 101, on page 68. And it's, well, today's, I guess, Words of Wisdom is fate predetermined and unchangeable? And it's just 2 pages, this section, so I'd like to read it out loud. Is fate predetermined and unchangeable? There is a certain flexibility in one's fate. If you ask me whether fate is unchangeable, the answer is that there are also parts of fate which can be changed. While there are parts of human fate that are predetermined and unchangeable, there is a lot of latitude for change which is left to the discretion of individual free will, the extent of which discretion varies according to the individual. What are the factors that constitute human fate? First, there's the life plan that each individual created before birth. Second, there's the degree of personal endeavor the individual exhibits after birth. Third, there are spiritual influences, which include those of the individual's guardian and guiding spirits, as well as those of evil spirits, such as human haunting spirits. It is a combination of these factors that decides the fate of an individual. Is there any proof that fate is not fixed? One thing that I would like you to consider here is that nobody plans to fall to hell before they are born into this world. Although some may feel that could be the result in a worst-case scenario, they are born believing it is most unlikely to come to that. However, the truth is that quite a large number of people actually end up in hell. We can say that their fate has largely changed between the time they were born and the time they die. This change has taken place as a result of the second factor, which is personal endeavor, and the third factor, spiritual influences. If you are able to receive the guidance of your guardian spirit and lead a good life, there's no problem. However, if you create darkness in your mind and live with a misguided heart, you'll be possessed by evil spirits, causing your mind to turn in an ever heavier and darker direction until finally you fall to hell. End quote. All right, so is fate determined? Is fate predetermined and unchangeable? No, there is a flexibility to it. So Master taught us 3 points from his spiritual teachings of how to look at fate. And there's three things that kind of like constitute the human fate. First is the life plan that we made before we're born. The second is the efforts that we make. And then the third is the spiritual influence we attain, like possession. So first one, it's called a life plan. So Master has taught us that it depends on each soul's level. The life plan itself is different, but depending on each soul's level, I guess like the contents and the details of the life plan varies. However, everyone briefly has a life plan, which means we decide our parents and we decide where we're going to be born. Briefly, we do decide that. So that is a predetermined thing, right? You can't change your parents after you're born. However, well, the interesting thing though is it's not existentialism. We're not thrown into this world by a random cause, but we actually promised our parents that we'll be born under them. So if you think about that, choosing your parents is something that's also already in a way decided in most cases. And then the second one is purely up to us. Depending on the efforts we make, we can change our fate. Meaning, before we were born, we drafted our life plan thinking that from my past lives, I'm sure that in average, I'll probably be able to get this far in this life and this much of influence and this much of success, things like that. However, depending after being born, let's say that you made more efforts than expected. What happens is your life plan changes and it's redrafted for a greater plan. The other way is also true. Let's say that you slack off more than you intended. Let's say that you allowed these modern day technology and also drugs and drinking alcohol to not make effort as much as you plan to. What will happen? Obviously, your life won't go according to your life plan, and it will be degraded. You won't go as far as intended. And then the third one, there's also spiritual influences. So depending on what kind of mindset we have, we can connect to the different spiritual worlds. So let's say that you refine your soul every day by reciting the true words spoken by Buddha, reading Master's Kyotens, and self-reflecting on yourself, and always working on the exploration of the right mind. Little by little, gradually, your mind will become more pure and more transparent. And when it becomes pure and transparent, the higher it gets connected to the higher dimension in the spiritual world. So then you start getting better guidance. Also, we have kigans, or ritual prayers in happy science. If you take that, it means that you make a connection, you forge a connection with a higher guiding spirit. And then once you start getting guided by a guiding spirit, you start feeling life differently, your perspectives will change, and your decisions will start changing, and your habits will start to change, and your personality will change, which obviously will change your fate too. But the other way, the vice versa, is true too. So let's say that you are possessed by evil spirits, stray spirits, even demons. What happens is you start living a more destructive life, and that will not lead you to a better fate. So this is a very important question. In all religions, we talk about fate, but in happy science, a lot of it is placed on self-effort. That your life and your future can be changed depending on your efforts. I'm sure you've heard this many, many times, but heaven helps those who help themselves. And a prayer is like, yes, prayers work, obviously, we do that. However, a prayer is like given a ladder from heaven, but it's your own effort to climb that ladder. You can't just pray to God to make you, to scoop you up and to pull you up the ladder. He's already given you the ladder, so it's our job to climb it. So let us fight against being sluggish, and let's work hard every day, diligently. Master has been saying that we need a diligence. What do you call it? We need a diligence restoration, or a diligence revolution. Diligence revolution is what will change the economy and bring more prosperity to this world. So let us all awaken to the virtue and the joy and the true happiness that's attained by not being sluggish and working hard. That'll be it for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.